Too long, Sheriff!
Well, this is my kind of rally. Woo! Got a bunch of crazy people here that believe in God and the Bible and the Constitution. Glad to be with you. Hope you're in jail when we all get there. You know what? I have to tell you, this is a great day for freedom. I came all the way out from Arizona to be here with you. I will tell you, just a few days ago, I was in Sheriff Arpaio's office. Not his tent city, his office. He's a good friend of mine, and he sends you greetings. I have to tell you, there's a few things that are the first time ever in American history. When I was sheriff in Arizona, I did something really crazy. The Clinton administration sent 3 agents of the BATF to tell the sheriffs that we had to participate in gun control known as the Brady Bill. And they threatened to arrest us. This is all true. They threatened to arrest us if we didn't go along. Literally threatened to arrest us. Didn't pay us any money, no federal grants, but I would have told them to shove it no matter if they were paying us or not. You know, it's wrong whether you pay money or not. Now most of the police agencies in America go along with the federal government because they give them the money, the federal grants. So I decided that I would sue the Clinton administration. I sued the Clinton administration. The first time in American history where a sheriff told the President of the United States, you can't tell me what to do, you're not my boss, and I don't answer to you. So, believe this or not, it went all the way to the United States Supreme Court, and we won, and this is a copy of the decision. Now, we were going to sell a bunch of these to you today and pass them out, sell them, whatever, but the park police say it's against the law. You know? And this is another indication that they believe, and Washington, D.C. believes, that bureaucratic policies and regulations supersede the Bill of Rights. And that's what I'm doing full-time now to convince sheriffs all across this country that they don't. Now, in view of the fact that I sued the Clinton administration, I basically sued Bill Clinton. And I want you to know this from a very historical standpoint. I was the only person in history to sue Bill Clinton on a non-sexual matter. True story. So just leave that as it is. I don't want to get gross on that, okay? And then we have a sheriff in Indiana, one of our good CSPOA members. Now, what did I just say? CSPOA. I want you to memorize that and go to the website. And then you can get the books without the police getting after you, okay? Now, or me. So, if you go to cspoa.org, you can see the movement that we started, and one of our good members, and you'll read about him there, Sheriff Brad Rogers from Elkhart County, Indiana. He was defending, can you believe this? A sheriff was defending an Amish farmer against the real criminals from the FDA. The Food and Drug Administration was doing spot inspections on an Amish farmer. I don't really care if the farmer was an atheist farmer. I don't care if he was a Protestant farmer. I don't care who he was or what he believed in. But this particular farmer, David Hostetler, happened to be Amish. And he was sick and tired of being harassed by the federal government. No probable cause, no duly signed warrants, no due process. So, now then we have Sheriff Brad Rogers telling the FDA, true story, we've all got it documented. He told the FDA, if you come back in my county without due process, without probable cause, and without duly signed warrants, I'll arrest you for trespassing. Now that's what you call a CSPOA sheriff, a constitutional sheriff. And now imagine that. Imagine this. that we have hundreds, if not thousands, of those kinds of sheriffs all across the country. You know what that does? You want to stop gun control? Have a constitutional sheriff. Have a sheriff who knows and understands state sovereignty. Have a sheriff who believes in you and America, not in the federal grants, who believes in America and will stand for America and puts his oath of office first. Guess what? Guess what the FDA did? They haven't been back in 2 years. They went crying home to mama over here. They went crying home. And now we have, for the first time in American history, a sheriff by the name of Joe Arpaio, who conducted an investigation, a criminal investigation on the supposed President of the United States. First time in American history, a sheriff took it upon himself to investigate the criminal inside the White House. Now, I don't know, and I don't think you know either. I don't know where Barack Obama was born. You weren't there, and I wasn't there. But I know Sheriff Arpaio. And Barack Obama, you're no Sheriff Arpaio. But he's a thorough, professional, honest lawman. And he conducted an investigation. And what I will tell you 100% is that the birth certificate released by Mr. Obama and the White House is a fake, a fraud, and a lie. And the investigation does not address the issue where he was born. It addresses the issue that the birth certificate is 100% a fake and a fraud. I spoke with the investigator yesterday, Mike Zullo. I've talked to Sheriff Arpaio about the investigation several times. Sheriff Arpaio and his investigator have done presentations on it at our CSPOA conventions. And we invite all of you to become a part of this great boots on the ground solution. We take America back, one sheriff at a time, one county at a time, and state by state. There's not any of the abuses that you see here today. You want to stop the IRS? Have a constitutional sheriff who knows the difference between standing for freedom and the enforcement of stupid laws and criminals by federal agencies in his county. He knows that he is to investigate and stand against all injustice and all criminal activity, and the IRS has been a criminal organization since the day they started. Okay? And you want to talk about the innocuous stuff they've done? It's the things that you've seen in the press lately about not giving out their 501c3 status to constitutional groups. That's the least of their crimes. They have been fabricating evidence against law-abiding citizens and going after citizens in this country unjustly since they started, including my own father, who retired from the FBI, and then they go after him too. They must have thought that he was going to be my father or something, you know? So they went after him. My dear friends, there is a solution. Take heart. There is a solution. You want to stop anything and you want to investigate. You want anything. You want to investigate groping from TSA? Contact your sheriff and tell him you want them investigated. We actually have a sheriff in Florida right now in Jacksonville, Sheriff Rutherford, who sends a deputy out to the TSA roadblocks. And he makes sure, the deputy is assigned to make sure that the TSA doesn't violate anybody's constitutional rights. Do you see the picture here? Do you see what's happening? I'm not filling you with a bunch of empty promises and empty hope. This is something that's already working. It's the reason Larry invited me here today, because he's seen this working. It's happening now. We take back America, one sheriff at a time. We can do it. Now, I wrote a book 4.5 years ago called The County Sheriff, America's Last Hope. And on the very first line, we've been quoting Jefferson all day. Well, on the very first page, I do too. Jefferson said, when all government shall be drawn to Washington as the center of all power, it will render powerless the checks provided and become as venal, and oppressive as the government from which we separated, end quote. My question to you, and my question to every citizen in this country and to every sheriff, to whom can the people turn for peace, safety, protection, and liberty when government becomes venal and oppressive? How about the very person you elect in your hometown to do that very thing, and he swore an oath in God's name that he would do that? All we need now is oath keeper sheriffs. Now, your sheriff doesn't work for me, doesn't work for Larry. He works for you. You need to have a relationship with him or her. They need to hear from you, and you need to ask them, have you read the book? You need to read the book. You need to know what he's supposed to know. It's only 50 pages. Your sheriff can read it real easy while he eats a donut. Okay? No problem. But we have got to get involved with that. You need to tell him you want to form a posse with him. Another great example from Sheriff Arpaio, he has over 3,000 on his volunteer posse, and he uses them all the time. Okay? Another sign of freedom happening in America, that we the people are involved with the sheriff in protecting the county and protecting the community from all criminals, both foreign and domestic. Okay? Now, I want you to know that the reason we had this rally today is because there is hope for America. There is liberty right around the corner. You can start working on it in your own community. And I guarantee you, it's a constitutional viable option of what's going on. We make this White House, we make this silly, ignorant Congress irrelevant because we have a constitutional sheriff and constitutional county commissioners, because we adhere to the principles as established by our founding fathers, and we believe in God, and we believe in each other, and we believe in the Constitution, and we believe in the principles of freedom. We can do this. Now I also, I got to tell you this, plain and simply. I wrote a book about 2 years ago called The Magic of Gun Control. And a lot of people have asked, what's that title? You know, I said, it's sarcastic, okay? It's a satire. Because if you look through history, you have to know that gun control provides no benefit. And if it ever did, it would have to be magic. Right. And they're trying to convince us that gun control in America is magic. That it'll provide peace and safety and protection for us all and reduce crime. Oh yeah, that's a good one. I'm telling you right now, you want to stop gun control? Make sure your sheriff knows and understands his duty to keep his oath of office. And you'll know and understand what I say in this book, plain and simply. Sheriff, citizens, America, Congress, everyone. Gun control in America is against the law. Enforce the law, lawmen. Enforce the law, sheriffs. Protect us from the real criminals who would take our guns. We now have on our website over 500 sheriffs who have signed on to protect the Second Amendment. Thank God. Yeah, exactly. It's working. It's not nearly enough, but it's coming along. We've got to make this bigger, better, and faster, and that's where I need your help. Amen. Get involved with us in this great and holy cause. Yes. Now, if I could, I'm going to close with what I close all across America. This is how I close. When I was a rookie cop, I went to a seminar called Constitutional Studies for Law Enforcement Officers. And in there, Dr. W. Cleon Skousen, the instructor of this police training, taught all of us 250 cops what I'm going to teach you now. And I call it America's political prayer. And maybe it's not a prayer at all, but then again, maybe it's the only one we have left. I leave this with you as dedication to freedom in America and to your children and your grandchildren, because that means my children and my grandchildren. And I got to tell you, my first grandchild was born on the 4th of July. And her name is Liberty. Yeah. And she's precious, and everybody needs liberty. And I love her to death, and all my other 10 grandchildren. So I dedicate this to them and to you. And this little political prayer. Remember, I learned this at police training. It goes like this. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. And that's the eagle. Long may she be free.
Thank you, Sheriff Mack.